Hello, everybody. Welcome to week one, unit one of English 107. My name is Jackie Pierce. By now, you probably have watched my welcome video. But this video is the first of eight, what I like to call weekly walkthrough videos. I'm going to ask you to take some time out every Monday morning, Monday-ish morning, uh, to view these walkthrough videos because what I will do in the walkthrough is go through everything that you need to do during that unit in order to succeed at English 107. This week, we do not have a formal writing assignment, but most of the time that will mean demonstrating how to complete the writing assignment and everything else. I will share samples of the writing assignments with you and things like that in these announcements as well. Um, but I need you to participate in this by watching the videos early in the week, as early as you can. Um, our units run Monday through Sunday, so even though everything is due the following Sunday evening, the sooner you can get started with each week, the better off you're going to be in the long run. So let's go ahead and take a look at our very first unit, which of course is Unit 1. When you sign in to Blackboard, you come in on the announcements page, and you may notice that over on the left-hand side, we have links to all of the pertinent things that you need to do. Um, During week one of the big things, of course, is going to be to navigate this. Now, I'm going to try to turn on the student view for this because that way it'll look just like when you are in it. I think it will work, but sometimes if it's before the unit actually starts, some things are locked. So I may have to undo it, but anyway, so this is what it will look like. You'll have the announcements page, and then you'll have the course information, meet your instructor. This link right here, the Ask the Instructor, is to a discussion board where you can ask questions about the class or one of the assignments. It is a public forum, meaning everybody else in the class can also view that. So do not use it if you have a private question, say about your grade or something like that, or if you need to tell me, that you're sick, or you need to contact me personally, you're going to use email. But the Ask the Instructor discussion can be super helpful because the chances are if you have a question about an assignment, somebody else might have the same question. So I do welcome you to use it. It operates just like any other discussion board. And yeah, it's okay. So it's not going to open until a little bit later. Actually, we're almost there, which is nice. But we'll take a look at it. In fact, let me exit preview so that you can see what it looks like. In the Ask the Instructor, it works just like any other discussion board. So if you have a question you want to post, you're going to click on the thread actions. No, create thread. Sorry, my brain is not working, even though I'm sort of thinking. So you click on create thread, you'll give it a subject line, and then you'll, of course, type your question in the box, and then you will hit submit. Okay. Um, you can subscribe to this forum, which I do highly recommend. You will notice that I am subscribed, but this would say subscribe if I wasn't. And I would recommend that you do so because, of course, then if you've posted a question, you'll get notified when I post an answer, and you'll also get notified when fellow students post questions. So it's a good idea. Anyway. All right, so let's go to Unit 1 and let's turn back on the student preview for right now. Um, Unit 1 is the theme is growth, and we're going to be looking at some concepts such as having grit, working on having a growth mindset, and how those things can help us with our college experience. Okay. So this week you have a link to the I'm gonna have to turn this off because not everything is showing, so it's gonna drive me crazy. Um, you have every week you will have a series of things in the Blackboard. And usually, right below the overview will be the readings and resources, because typically you need to do the readings and learn the materials before you do any graded assignments. This week, it's a little bit different because you can introduce yourselves on the Unit 1 discussion board without necessarily reading the readings and resources. So we'll talk about it in this order because that's one thing I really want to focus on with you is that when you are in an online course such as this, everything is scheduled in order in the Blackboard. And so each unit, you want to do those things in order. You do not want to try to tackle a writing assignment until you have learned the material, for example. So you want to follow the order of the what we call the unit or the module, whatever you want to call it. So the first thing this week is going to be to introduce yourselves, which is awesome. It is also a discussion board, so it operates the exact same way that we just looked. And you're going to be following the prompts in the discussions. So this one says, tell the class a little about yourself and share three items that are meaningful to you. Explain why you chose those three items. Then share your writing story. How much writing have you done before coming to this class? How comfortable are you with writing? And what is one question you have about writing that you hope to have answered in this course? So there are really four things that you're going to do. Introduce yourself with your three items and then answer those three questions. So that's four total. It is very important that you fully read the prompt and fully reply to the prompts each week, because when we get into the graded discussion boards, a lot of times people will kind of skip over part of it. This is another good reason to watch these walkthrough videos, because I will highlight, what the prompt says and all the things that you need to focus on. So when you're ready to post your introduction, you just click on the link, create the thread, and it's exactly the same. Give yourself a subject line, put your context here. You can even put a photo in. You don't have to do that, but I absolutely love when people include photos because it helps us to get to know each other a little bit better. So if you have images on your computer, you can post one. Let me show you what that looks like. Sometimes you may have to make it smaller. This is me at a 5 mile race 2 weeks ago. That was super fun. I was dying at the end, but that's okay. So you can size it, you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not going to save this, but you can submit. And then, of course, if you wanted to save it and come back to it, you can do save draft, but you do need to submit it. Otherwise, it won't get posted. Okay. All right. So back to the unit. The next item then will be our readings and resources. And like I said, usually that's first. This is a different one. Every unit will kind of go the same way. You'll have a takeaway with some kind of important thoughts, and then you'll have the actual reading and any video assignments that you have to learn. So this week's readings are from the book that we'll be using throughout the entire course. It's called Academic Writing Process and Product by Johnson. And this week you're going to be focused on chapter 15 and 16, which are about grammar and punctuation. One quick thing that I would like to tell you is that as a post-university student, you do have access to download a full version of Grammarly on your computer. If you go to the writing support link, you will find how to do that. There's all kinds of resources here for you. If you are a person who struggles with grammar and punctuation, I do highly recommend Grammarly. It is an AI system, but it catches errors that some other systems do not, which is kind of cool. The next thing you have is an article by a famous person, Carol Dweck, on growth mindset. Even Geniuses Work Hard is the name of the article. And so you'll want to read that. When you are logging in for these readings, you will need to log in to the library information. So you will need to sign in with your credentials. Once you do that, though, you will have full access to the materials. So wait for this just a second to pop up. In order to access it, you will choose PDF or full line text. It doesn't really matter which one. I always like to look at the PDF because I like to be able to see it on the page. So the PDF would be a scanned version of it. The fully online version may not have pictures and stuff like that. Not a big deal. You can read it either way. Sometimes you only have one choice when you log in, but this one, of course, you do have the ability to look at the PDF, which is kind of cool. All right. Then we have some videos, couple videos to watch, and then you are ready to do your only graded assignment in Unit 1. It is the first of several of what we call journals. Did I turn student view back on accidentally? No. Why is it not showing? There it is. Okay. So the Unit 1 journal assignment. Journals they operate very much like the discussion board. Like it'll feel like you're posting something on a discussion board, but the only people able to read this is me and you. So this is not a public discussion board, even though it kind of looks like one when when you're in it. Journaling is a reflective assignment, and we will be using them pretty much every other week. There's always going to be writing prompts, and you want to fully address those. You always want your journal entries to be at least 6 sentences long, and there's really no right or wrong answers. The only thing I will tell you about the journals is that you really want to speak about your own personal experience. Um, Giving detailed stories that have happened to you is the best way to really explore these things. So, for example, the first journal, the prompts say, what is your first reaction when things get tough? The best way to answer that question is to actually think of a time when something got hard and how did you react to it? Like, really tell the story. That is the best way to do a journal. What did it help you understand about yourself? And when was a time you showed grit and it paid off? And that one, for sure, we need to think of an example of a time when we stuck to something that we were maybe scared to do or didn't want to do, and it turned out to be a good thing. Once you are ready to post, it's the same as the discussion board. You just click on it and then you'll create journal entry here. And like I said, you'll notice it looks very much the same as the discussion board, but nobody else can read this, just me and you. Okay. That's it for week 1. I mean, a big part of week 1 is also, like I said, make sure you go through kind of all the information in the class, so that know what to expect and what's coming up in the about the course, like the meet your instructor and course information. You will have the syllabus, you'll have a list of the assignments, you'll be able to kind of plan out your whole term 3. So last but not least, if you have any questions, do reach out to me. You can contact me through the information and meet your instructor. You can email me at any time, and I answer emails 7 days a week. So, email is honestly the fastest way to get in touch with me 99% of the time. So there you go. I hope everybody has a great week 1, and I will see you back here in week 2 for another weekly walkthrough. Everybody take care. Have a great week.